Hey guys, welcome to Scholar. Now here we are going to talk about Python in this video. We are using Python in almost everything. People are talking about Python very much. We can do automation, we can do artificial intelligence, data science, machine learning and many more things. We can in fact create the websites as well. Now why suddenly Python comes into the picture? The one and the very important thing is it is free of cost. It's an open source programming language. Second is it is very easy to use. Yes, it is very easy for us to write the code in Python, and that is what we'll see here. It's an amazing programming language and it's like we are just writing the English language, and that is how simple it is. We have trained a lot of professionals who are from non-IT background and now working in one of the biggest IT companies, and they are doing great. They are working as a data scientist, they are working as a data analyst and so on. This is very simple programming language and that is what we are going to talk about today. We'll directly go to the Python screen and try to do some coding, and definitely we'll see that it is an amazing and a simple programming language. So go through the video and we'll try to understand how cool is this language is, and that is why it is very much in demand. So let's get to the screen.
Hello. So now, before we start and talk about Python, we have to install Python in our machine. How we will do that? We'll go with anaconda.com. We can very well go to Python website as well to install Python in your machine by going to downloads and the version 3.8.3. But I and people in the industry working on Anaconda, because it is you can see here, data science technology for human sense making. It's like a distribution system which is created by this particular organization and helping us to create a simple way of accessing Python. And obviously, when we are talking about Python, Python is like a programming language which consists of a lot of packages. So these packages are used for various different purposes. For example, let's say if I want to do some mathematical calculation in Python, we have a package called NumPy, numerical Python. So we use NumPy to do all the mathematical calculations. Now, when we install Anaconda Python, then what will happen? All the relevant packages which are related to data science installed automatically while we are installing Anaconda. But if I go with Python website and install Python in our machine, in that case, what will happen? We have to install the packages which are data science packages separately. So that is the difference. So obviously, we will prefer to go with a solution where I will get the packages as well, relevant packages as well. So I'll go to this anaconda.com, I'll go to the products and I'll go with individual edition, because obviously we are looking for we are not working as an enterprise, right? So we are going with the individual edition. I'll go here, and here you can see we have individual edition, and we'll go down. You have this option of download. A lot of options are there, but we'll go down here. You can see these are the packages which are coming with Anaconda, like TensorFlow, PyTorch, then we have Matplotlib, Pandas, Scikit-learn, NumPy. These are the packages which are coming by default with Anaconda. I'll go down and I'll see that here we go, and go down, and little further down, you can see this is the Anaconda installers. So based on your machine, whether it is Windows, Mac OS, Linux, you can decide based on your machine which one to download. Mine is Windows, so I'll go with 64-bit graphical installer. It is already installed, and again, we have two versions of Python, 3.7 and 2.7. We will go with 3.7 version. The only reason is that the support for Python 2.0, or I can say 2 point plus, is not there after this particular year. So we will go with the latest version, which is nothing but 3.7. They have launched the new version of Python as well, which is 3.8.3. But again, we are going with this Anaconda installer because it is 3.7, and again in some time in future they will upgrade that to 3.8 as well. But as of now, we are okay to go with 3.7. You can download this. Once you download, then you can go to Anaconda Prompt and Anaconda Navigator. These are the options which we have. As I already mentioned, that if I click on this Anaconda prompt, and I told you that the packages which are relevant to data science will be there in the Anaconda instance. So if I'll write pip list, where pip is the package management system, when I write pip space list and press the enter, what will happen is we'll able to get the list of packages which are present in the current instance of Anaconda. You can see there are a lot of packages available, TensorFlow, and you can see, right, this all the packages are present, which you will not get once you install from Python website. So that is the main benefit which we have. Apart from that, we have this Anaconda Navigator, which is helping me to start the graphical user interface. For example, let's say I want to open Jupyter notebook, I want to open Spider, I can very well go with this Anaconda Navigator to open up. That is one way of opening the graphical user interface, or I can say IDE. So let's wait for some time. It will take some time. So let's wait for it. In the meantime, I'll just help you understand. Yes, correct. Roshan, yeah, absolutely. It is correct that you can very well install, I can say Python from the Python website also, but we prefer to go with Anaconda, right? So keep that in mind, because all the relevant packages you'll get by default. All right, so I told you that, let me just close it. Yeah, so you can see we have this option, right? Jupyter Lab, Jupyter Notebook. These are the IDs. IDs like integrated development environment, where we can do all the coding and all, right? So that is what the main purpose is. So we will able to do all these stuffs in the IDE. Now I can either use Spider, or in industry people are using either Spider or Jupyter Notebook, which is more popular, right? And if you search in the Google as well, the popularity of the Jupyter is more as compared to any other, I would say, IDE. The only reason is that it is a web-based, and I can integrate that with the websites as well. So this is an amazing feature which we get from Jupyter Notebook. So you can launch it from here, or you can also do one thing. You can just write Jupyter Notebook, JUP. You will get this option. You can click it and it will help me to open that. Let me click it, and you can see I get it, this screen. This is my Jupyter Notebook. Now here I click on this new, and there is an option of Python 3. Now, how this name Jupyter came in? So JU is for Julia. So again, there are 3 programming languages which Jupyter supports. One is Julia, PY is for Python, and R is for R programming. So we can able to do all the 3 types of programming in Jupyter. That's why this name comes in Jupyter. I click on this Python 3, and it will open up this page. So this is the page where we actually gonna do the coding, and you can see it's very easy for me to do the coding. Let's, for example, let's take one example. Let's say I have, now I want to make you guys comfortable on this programming language. So for that, we will go very basic steps. We'll try to understand what's going on. Let's say we are into retail store, right? Simple example. We already have an idea that everyone goes to the retail store, so we already have the idea. Now, once we go to the retail store, let's say this retail store is very data oriented, and they want to know the details of each and every customer. So let's just you go to the retail store, and they ask you for the customer details. For example, let's say I am the store manager, and I'm asking you that, can you please tell your name? Can you please tell me your address? Can you please tell me your age? Maybe your salary, something, so that I'll have a record of you. Now, I have to store somewhere, right? I have to store the values somewhere. That means I want to create some placeholder where I can put these values. For example, customer name. So what I have to do? I want to create a placeholder. Let's say customer name. Now in the customer name, the first customer comes in. I want to put the customer name. Let's say Rahul, right? Now what happened? I created a placeholder named as customer underscore name, and I'm giving the value to this particular placeholder as Rahul. Now what does this mean? That means I created a variable. So customer name is a variable which I have created where I am saving the value called Rahul. Now from here, what we are understanding, Rahul is like what type of data type. Now, if you want to understand what its data type is, for example, age. Now, age cannot be Rahul, right? Age can be a number. Let's say my age is 34. So 34 is a number which I am storing. No one will tell you that my age is 34.5. No, we normally say 34 or 35 or 36 or 33, so on. We don't say 34.5 or something. So 34 is my age. Now 34 is what? It's a number. And what type of number it is? It is an integer. But let's say I want to put my salary. Let's say my salary is 10,500.50. 10,500.50. Now 0.50 is what? It's a decimal, right? So we have different type of data which we are storing. The first data which I stored just now is Rahul. It's a string. It's a, I can say, category, or it's not a numeric basically. It's a string data type. It has a string. So when you want to create a string type of data type, you have to pass the value in a single quotes, or you can pass the value in a double quotes as well. If I want to create a new line, I will just press escape and press B for Bombay. If I want to delete the line, press escape and press 2 times B for Delhi. Now, if I have customer name, I can save by double quotes as well. Let's say I'm passing Shilpi. Now, customer name, the value coming is Shilpi. However, earlier I gave the name as Rahul, but I have overwritten by passing the new name, and I passed that in a double quotes. So either I can, now if I'll execute this Rahul again, what will happen? It will replace Shilpi from Rahul. Now you can see that I am just creating a variable which is like customer underscore name, and I'm passing the value Rahul. So how easy is that? As I mentioned at the start of the program, that it is a very simple programming language. It's an amazing programming language because the number of lines of code will be reduced drastically. So when we have a string data type, you have to pass the values in the quotes, either in the single quote or in the double quote. If you are not passing in any code, for example, I'm not passing any code and writing Rolly. If I will execute this, it will throw me an error because name Rolly is not defined. Python is understanding that Rolly is a variable, but it is not. I want to store customer name as Rolly. So in that case, I have to pass this in a single quote or double quote. Now if I check the customer name, you can see that it is Rolly. So when we are having a string data type, now in string data type also, I can have numbers, like for example, Rahul123. If I check the customer name, Rahul123. So basically I can have alpha values or numeric values, but it should be in the quotes. Then it is a string data type. Now let's say I want to put the age, customer age. That means I am creating one more variable, and the variable name is customer underscore age, and let me put that as 34. Now in this, I don't want the value in the code because it's a number. So when we are passing a number, I'm okay to go without quotes basically. We can check the data type as well. Let's say customer name, right? Customer name is Rahul123. As per our understanding, it is a string data type, but we have to check also whether it is string or not. You can check that by writing type of customer name, execute, and you can see that it is str, which is nothing but string. I did not mention to Python that Rahul123 should be a string. Python automatically understands that. In other programming languages like Java, we have to explicitly tell that I am creating a variable called customer name and the data type should be string. But here we don't have to. Most of the things are done by Python. That is why it is very, very simple. And that is why it is highly demanding programming language in the market. You don't have to write, right? The customer name should be string. It is automatically understanding it. That is why it is known as dynamically typed programming language. It is automatically understanding that yes, it is a string data type. I created this customer age 34. Now guess what will be the data type it should be. It should be integer because I don't have any decimal. I don't have 34.545 something like that. I have 34 only. Let's check the type of customer age. Int, integer. Perfect. Let's say I have to put the sales amount, how much sales Rahul did. So let's say $150.65. Now 0.65 is a decimal. So if I will check the data type, it should not be integer because I don't have, like, I have decimal place, right? So if I have decimal place, it should not be an integer. It should be a decimal. In Python, what we say? Let's check that. What Python understands. If I check the type, sales, you can see it is a float. So when we have a data type with decimal places, then it is considered as a float. Float is nothing but decimals. Let's say I will pass sales 150.65. What it should be, I am passing with quotes. When I am passing with quotes, it should not be considered as float. It should not be considered as integer. It should be considered as string. Let's check that. Type of sales, it is str. Because we are passing the values in the string, passing the values in the quotes, which is very, very important to understand. If you are passing the value in the quotes, it will be a string. If I'll remove this quote, obviously it will be now float. Now the final type of data type. Now these are the data types which we have, which we use in the data science a lot. So we are talking about these data types. The final data type is true or false, Boolean. Want to see that? I have sales, for example. My sales value is 150.65. My requirement is I want to create a logic. I want to check whether my sales is greater than 100 or not. So what I will do, my sales is greater than 100 or not. Execute. The output which we are getting is true. If I will write less than, it should be false because the value is 150.65. And I can very well save this. Let's say I'm creating a variable called a. What I am doing, I am creating a variable called a and I'm saving the value of this entire logic. Sales less than 100. Is sales less than 100? No, it is not. So answer is false. So inside a, the value should be false. And if I check the type of a, it should be Boolean, true or false. So these are the four different types of data types which we have, which are like we normally use in our data science program. Now we'll talk about some more stuffs. Here we spoke about customer name. We created a customer name and I put the value. But what if I want to save multiple customer names? Here I saved only one value. But if I want to save multiple values, let's say in this class I have 30 students. I want to save all the ages of you guys. Correct, Swati. Absolutely. So Swati just said that we will use list. Yes, so you already have an idea. So basically there is a concept of Python collection data types. There are four different Python collection data types. Today we are going to talk about lists. So let me talk about different collection data types. Python collection data types. First one is lists. Second one is tuple. Third one is dictionaries. And the fourth one is sets. These are the four different data types we have. Python collection data types, obviously. Now let's say I want to store all the ages of you guys. How can we do that? We'll create a list, obviously. But what is the process? To create a list will be created by the square bracket. Let's say I want to write the ages 23, 23, 24, 32, 34, 35, 31, 32, 33, 37, and so on. Let's say 21. These are the values I have. This is my student 1 age, student 2 age, student 3 age, and so on. And obviously I want to save this somewhere. So I want to create a variable. Let's say my stud ages. And now if I will check my stud ages, you can see that a list is created. How simple is that? We just pass the square bracket, pass the values, done. We created a list of values. Now we can do a lot of things. For example, let's say I want to fetch this 35. I want to pick only this value. How will I do that? What is the number? Like if I say 23 is the first number, 23 is the second number, 24 is the third number, 32 is the fourth number, 34 is the fifth number, and 35 is the sixth number. So from this my stud ages, I want sixth value. Right, that is what we are looking for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me execute this. Oops, we got 31. I was looking for 35. Why this happened? Now keep this in mind. In Python programming, the indexation starts with 0. Now what does this indexation means? When we are saving a values in the list, Python internally assigns the index. First value, the index will be 0. Indexation starts with 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So basically I was looking for the fifth index value. I passed the sixth index value. That is why 31 comes in. So if I remove this 6 and write 5 and execute, you can see that number 35 coming in. Now for example, we are looking for 32, 34, 35. These three values I'm looking for. Now tell me what is the index of 32 and 35. Tell me that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Absolutely. Correct. Absolutely, Adil. So this is starting with 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. So I'm looking for values 3, 4, and 5. Now, how will I write here? Somehow I want to write, right? How? I'm looking for index number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 3, 4, and 5. Can I write 3 till 5 like this? It is giving me 37. Something is different. Something is wrong. 37 like this value coming in. Not sure why it is coming. We'll see that later on. But as of now, what to do? Can we write colon? Because we have to understand how we will fetch out the values. If I will write colon, what will happen? Let's see. It is giving me 32 and 34. What I am looking for? 32, 34, and 35. I am writing 3 colon 5, so 35 should come, but it is not coming because when we are slicing from the list, this last value should be one greater than what value you are looking for. For example, you are looking for 35. So if you are writing index number 5, 35 will not participate. When you will write index number 6, then 35 will participate, 31 will not participate. So basically, the values which you are interested in, you have to put the last value plus 1. So if I will write index number 6, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 31. So it will go till 31 and it will not include 31. It will go and give me the value till 35. Starting with 3 only, obviously. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 32, 34, 35. When I will execute this, you can see that the value coming in. Now, we just did something. My stored ages 3 minus 5. And I was getting 37. 37 is nothing but this value. Why it came in? There is a concept of reverse indexation as well. Starting from the back value. From here, what is the positive indexation? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. What is the reverse indexation? This first value will be minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, and so on. Now 3 minus 5 is what? It is minus 2. So what is minus 2? Minus 1, minus 2. Simple. Want to check? Let's check that. My student, I'll just write a minus 2. 37. 3 minus 5 is what? Minus 2. So if I will write minus 1, what will come? 21 will come. Let's check that. Perfect. Now question arises and I'm asking this to you. Just guess. We did not talk about that, but just guess. If I will write minus 1 colon 4, what will be the output? What is minus 1? This. What is 4? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means I'm going from minus 1 till 4. Where 4 will not participate as per this logic, which we just discussed. That means my output should be 21, 37, 33, 32, 31, 35. That's it. Let's check that. I am not getting any output. Now question arises why. Let's try to understand this. When we are doing the slicing, now this entire process is known as slicing. We are slicing the list 3 colon 6. So starting with 3, 4, 5, 6 will not participate. Here I am slicing minus 1 till minus 1 till 4. So this is my minus 1. This is the 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I am writing minus 1 till 4. Now in Python, when we write these values 3 colon 6 minus 1 colon 4, right? At that point in time, the direction will be always from left to right. 3 colon 6. What is 3 colon 6? Let me undo this. Remove all this stuff. 3 colon 6. 0, 1, 2, 3. 3, 4, 5, 6. So what value we are getting? 32, 34, 35. This direction. So when we are slicing, the slicing will be always towards the right direction. But you are looking here, minus 1 colon 4. Minus 1 colon 4. You are saying go backwards. But when we are slicing, the slicing will always be forward. So when we are doing minus 1 colon 4, it is not able to understand what to do, because 4 is not present at the start. Like 4 is not present at the right, it is present at the left. By default, the direction is positive towards right. So we are not getting the value. That is why you are getting this empty list. Now, what is the solution for this? By default, the direction, as I mentioned, is towards right. So if I'll go to the Python, by default, the direction is, I'll write colon 1. 1 means towards right, positive direction. And if I will make this minus 1, now let's see what is the output. 21, 37, 33, 32, 31, 35. And that is what we are expecting, right? So when you want to go from right to left, then we have to write this minus 1. When you want to go from left to right, then we go for plus 1. By default, it takes as plus 1. Now with this, let's take one more example so that will be very much clear. Mashed ages minus 7 colon minus 1. Now what is minus 7? Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7. Colon minus 1. So what is the direction? From here to here, left to right. So value will come. But what are the values will come? 34, 35, 31, 32, 33, 37, 21 will not participate, because this value will not participate. So let's check. It is coming till 37. 21 is not participating. Perfect. Starting 34. So that is how the slicing will happen. Now in this list, I can have any type of value. It's not like I can have only numbers. I can have strings also. I can have booleans also. I can have decimals also. Anything. Let's check that. Let's say my list 1. Let's say Rahul is my first value. Second is 34. Third is true, which is a boolean. Fourth is, let's say, 100.50. You see all the values coming in. Now if I'll check my list 1, you see all the values are there. Now what is the index of Rahul? It starts with 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3. If I will write 0, it will give me Rahul. And if I want to check the type of this value inside the list, it is a string. Rahul is a string, right? It's in the quotes. So we are able to get the data type as well of that particular value. Second is 34. It should be an integer. Let me make it as 1. Check. Yes, it is an integer. Perfect. True. True is what? Boolean. Let's remove. Make it 2. Done. Bool. Perfect. Same way 100.5, which is nothing but a decimal. Remove it. Make it 3. Execute. It is a float. So when we are saving the values in the list, it stores the values in its original data type, which is nothing but string for Rahul, 34 for integer, and boolean for true, and 100.50 for float. Now there are a lot of functions associated with list as well. For example, let me show you. So I have my storages, right? Now dot, and then I'll press tab button these are the functions associated with lists. So when we are creating the list, these functions will come because these functions are associated with the list. The first function is append. I'll click on this append and then let me put 100 and execute. Now when I check my stud ages, you can see that 100 is added at the last. So basically append is nothing but it is adding the value at the last. So every time when I will append, let's say I'm appending 100 again, let's see what happens. You have 200s. So every time when the append command will come, it will automatically append the values inside the list at the last, obviously. Now my storages dot, what else we have? Clear. Now clear, obviously, if I'll execute and check my stud ages, it is now became an empty list because I cleared the list. No values now there. Let me create this again. Here is the code. Execute. What is the next command? My storages and then dot tab copy. I can do the copy of this as well and then write my list 2. I created my list 2, which is the copy of my stored ages list. Exactly same, right? If you check my stored ages, exactly same. So you can see how easy this programming language is. The main motive of this first session is to help you understand that if you are from non-technical background, you don't have to worry about people talking about data science, machine learning, everything, right? If you know Python, and Python is like very, very simple programming language. And trust me, these things which we are talking about, Python is exactly easy, like I would say exactly same easy for the entire curriculum. We are making things very easy, and at the same time Python is helping us to make things easy as well because it is an amazing programming language. I'm a big fan of it because of the multi-purpose thing it has, and again how simple it is. I was always scared of learning programming, but this makes me more comfortable. So it's an amazing programming language, no doubt about that. Now if I'm a non-programmer, for example, then I will definitely go for it. That is no doubt about, because I have only I would say 13 years of experience into IT. Right, I worked on various programming languages. I worked on Java, I worked on Python, I worked on C programming sometime. I did a lot of SQL codings as well. But Python overall, I'm using Python for last 6 years now, and I think it's an amazing thing. I think that this is the best programming language people can think of, and again very simple. Now let's take some more commands. So tab count, I want to count. Let's say I want to count 23. How many 23s we have? 1 2. Let me write 23. You see we are getting 2 because there are two 23s in the list. So you can see a lot of things we have. Extend. Now what is extend? Let's say I'll run one command which is my storages dot append. Now I want to add multiple hundreds. If I will execute this, you see append takes exactly two arguments. One argument, sorry, two given. That means I cannot add multiple values. I can only add one value at a time. Right? My storages, you can see 100 coming in perfectly fine. Now extend, I can add multiple values as well. 100, 100, 200. Execute. Extend takes exactly one argument, but I was saying that it will take multiple values. Then why it is not taking? Because there is a reason for it. I can pass. We already had a discussion about this list, right? How to create a list with a square bracket. So now when we are passing the extend command, we have to pass the value in the form of a list. Now I passed 100, 100, 200. Let's first check the values in the list so that we'll have an understanding. We have 100, right? So after when I will run this, my student ages, extend 100, 100, 200. I will have 3 total 100 values and then 200. Let's execute. It ran fine. You see, 100, 100 and 200. So when I want to put multiple values inside the list, then extend commands comes into picture, and this extend should take only one argument. That is why we have to pass the values in a form of a list. Next, what we have? Index. Now what is this index? Let's say I want to know the index of 100 number. Okay, if I'll write 100, what will happen? It is showing me 11. Why? If I check my storages, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That means it is giving me the index of the first occurrence of the number which you are passing here, or value which you are passing here. I am passing this number 100, so it gave me the first occurrence of that. Now what else we have? My storages dot tab, then we have insert. Okay, interesting. Now what is insert? We spoke about append. Append is appending the value at the end. Extend, where we can add multiple values at the end. What is insert? Let's say in between 24 and 32, I want to insert number 26. What is the index of number 24? 0, 1, 2. What is the index of 32? 3. So I want the number between. That means 24 is index number 0, 1, 2. At the index number 3, I want number 26, right? So at the index number 3, I want 26. Execute and check my stored ages, and you will see that number 26 is added between 24 and 32. How simple is this? What else we have? Tab, pop. All right, execute 200. That means the last value. Pop is nothing but removing the last value from the list. It removed. Dot pop, execute again 100. That means this value removed. Let's check that. Perfect. Now we have 200s. Let's run pop again. Again check 100. Can I pass the index? Let's say I am passing index number 3. Execute 26. What is index number 3? 0, 1, 2, 3. It removed 3 index, third index basically. You see, 26 is no longer there. So basically, if you are not passing any index in the bracket, then it will take the last value from, take out the last value from the list. But when we are passing any index number, it will remove that value from the list. Dot, what else we have? Remove. Okay. So now we see that pop, right? Pop is helping me to remove the value. Now what is remove? Pop is helping me with the index value. Now I want to remove 100. Will this work? Something happened. My stored ages. You see, 100 is no longer there. So basically, when you want to remove any value with the help of index number, then pop can be used. And if you want to remove any value with the original value of the list, then remove will be used. Dot tab, reverse. Now this is simple, right? I want to reverse this entire list. Reverse means not sorted, right? 21 will be the first value, 37 will be the second value, and so on. I'm just reversing the list. Let's execute this. Perfect. If I'll check my stored ages, you see 21, 37, 33, and so on coming in. What is the last? And the beautiful command is sort. I want to sort the data. Perfect. Let's check my stored ages. Amazing. From ascending to descending order. And then if you want descending to ascending, let's apply reverse. Perfect. Execute. And now I check my stored ages. Here we go. How simple is that? I just ran, I think 70-80 lines of the course to just talk about the basics of understanding of Python. And trust me, this entire program will be as simple as this, because this programming language is pretty much simple, and that is why people are using it. There are a lot of communities available. That's why they are creating a lot of packages, and there are a lot of people creating data science, machine learning algorithms, and that is what we are going to use. Things will be very easy, and obviously your life will be easy while learning Python, because you don't have to do anything. Packages for everything, packages are available. Just call the package, done. And that is what we'll see in the next sessions. I hope this makes sense. We'll see you in the next session. Till then, happy analyzing.